Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and I have a confession. I have been stalking the runners of the Ventura Marathon since running it myself last month. Today's guest is someone I found through the Ventura Marathon, and I also had on previous guest Shane Inman, who I highly recommend following in case you missed that episode. Shane was the winner of the half marathon, and he was completing that race as part of his training for the California International Marathon, much like today's guest. Shane is trying to Olympic trial qualify in Sacramento, so I hope you will go and follow him as well and cheer him on as he completes that road to the CIM and shares that with his followers. Today's guest, as I mentioned, is also someone I found through the Ventura Marathon, but actually not through the hashtag Ventura Marathon, through her running coach, Dr. Jason Karp, who was also on the show for 2 episodes. He shared some general running tips and helped dispel some myths for us. And he was also on the show to share some marathon-specific tips. So if you are also training for a marathon in the next few months, I hope you will go and check out that episode from my guest's coach. Okay, so who is my guest? She's really awesome. We actually did 2 episodes together. The first episode is today's episode, and we're going to talk more about her running journey. And then in the next episode I'll share with you, we'll talk about her journey as an entrepreneur and the awesome product that she's created for female runners. So who is my guest? My guest is Jessica Dorsey, aka Mama in the Fast Lane if you are on Instagram. She is a mom and entrepreneur living in Los Angeles with her 2 daughters, Luisa, who is 2 years old, and Liliana, who is 7, her husband Kevin, and their rescue pit bull, Penny Pickle. Born and raised in Wisconsin, her love for the outdoors was fostered at a young age. She grew up hiking and running, often on her own in the neighborhoods and woods near her home. She was a top runner on her school's cross-country and track teams throughout middle school and high school, but did not continue competing in college. It wasn't until after she moved to LA with her now husband and had her first daughter that she began training for her first marathon. Her training and race times have changed dramatically since that first marathon in 2012, and she's looking forward to chasing down some big goals in the near future. Well, welcome to the podcast, Jessica. I'm so excited to have you as my guest today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on here.
So right now you're training for the CIM, right? The California International Marathon, but could you share with us your running journey and how you got started?
Yeah. So way back to start, I started running in middle school because I was so bad at all other sports. I remember I tried basketball, like YMCA 3-on-3, and the only basket I ever scored was for the other team. I just couldn't get a sense of the rules, the coordination, all of it. It was just too much for me.
Mm-hmm. I can relate, by the way.
Oh gosh, it was so bad. I couldn't get the serve over the net, not even once. It finally happened in a game, but since it had never happened in practice, I didn't know that you need to move forward and receive the serve back. So organized sports were just a mess for me. But at the same time, I was always the first girl or the first kid coming in for the mile, had the school record for flexed arm hang. So I was athletic, but not coordinated. So as soon as I entered 6th grade and they had cross country and track available, I joined them, and I was not a star, but I was finally good at something. So I fell in love right away.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I ran middle school, high school, went to state and track, never in cross country. So same, I was never I was always on varsity and top 1 or 2 runners, but I was never outstanding. And so for college, I wanted to go to a really big school, and I wouldn't have been able to be on the team unless I wanted to be a walk-on. So I decided not to run in college, and kind of didn't really run seriously at all until after I had my first daughter, and I decided to train for my first marathon.
Awesome. So I have to ask, what made you decide to run a marathon right after having your first daughter and having that longer break from running?
Yeah. So, well, actually, back up a little bit. I had registered for a marathon my senior year of college,
Hmm.
and then like got injured. I just had like this thing in my hip that like wouldn't go away, and like I could run sometimes without any pain, but then like when there would be pain, it would be so bad that after a run or I wouldn't be able to like walk. I wouldn't be able to lift my leg up to like get into the car or like even put on pants. So
Oh,
like then I would take a little time off and then try running again. And so it was this thing like I registered for marathon, would train, then like throughout training like wouldn't be able to continue. Finally
hmm.
figured out. Yeah, it took the doctors forever to figure out what was going on, but I had a tear in my labrum. So that they finally repaired that and they shaved the head of my
Oh,
femur
wow.
down. So it fits my hip socket better, so I won't get any more tears.
Hmm.
Um, so that was like the thing I guess, for a couple of years that prevented me from doing a marathon. So then I was in
Hmm.
recovery from that surgery and got pregnant, had my daughter, and then I was like, okay, my hip's good, baby's here. Finally, I'm gonna do this, and so I did.
No, that's awesome. Well, and I guess, motivation for the moms out there who are like, I don't know if I can fit in the training, but you made it happen. So,
Oh gosh, yeah. So that first marathon, it was LA, and I had started this training program. It was the Runner's World Run Less, Run Faster, because it was only 3 days of training a week. And I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, that'll give my, hips recovery time after each run if I'm only running 3 times. And also, like, I'm a busy mom with a new baby. Like, I'm not going to be able to
right,
run more than that. And in
right.
fact, like, more than half the time, I wouldn't even get all 3 of those runs in. I was like, if I can at least get the long run in and then get some stroller miles in or something during the week. But that first marathon, I think on average was running 2, sometimes like max 3 days a week. So,
Wow, wow.
you get that long run in. I mean, it wasn't like pretty and it was really hard, but
Hmm.
it's something to like look forward to because
Hi, friends, it's Catherine. And if you are joining us for that out and back 15-minute walk that I recommend you do while tuning into the episode, we are 7.5 minutes into the episode, so you'll want to turn around now. All right, back to Jessica.
it was never easy to get out there, when you're sleep deprived and overwhelmed. But if you have something to train for, I feel like it just makes it easier.
Yeah, no, having a goal is definitely good for motivation and to keep at it week in and week out versus if there's nothing there, it's I'll get to it one day. So
Yeah, it's really easy to be like, oh, geez, I haven't like moved my body in over a week or 2 weeks or.
right, right.
So
So you did the LA when did you run the LA Marathon then?
that was 2012.
Okay.
And so my main goal for that race, well, obviously to finish and then to not walk. And I hurt so bad, but I didn't walk at all. And I ended up
Mhm.
running 3:32.
Oh,
And I always
wow.
thought like, okay, qualify for Boston. That would be like, that's your kind of potential. Like if you could ever run like a 3:35 or sub 3:30, that would just be amazing. So after I did like 3:32 for that one, I was like, you might have some potential in this distance, like,
Hmm.
better than other distances that you've done before. So after that one, I registered right away for, what did I do next? That would have been in March. I think I did my next one like in May of that year, but decided to be way more serious with the 3-day-a-week training program
Mm.
and brought my time down to like 3:12,
Oh, wow.
I think. So I had a pretty big jump that like
Yeah.
got me really excited and more serious. So definitely after that first marathon is I would say what kicked off like my way more serious running schedule like that I'm still on now.
Yeah. So your first step was just like going from like trying to get the 3 days a week in, having the new baby, and then actually doing the 3 days a week. And then like how did things change from there? What's been the progression? Because your time's gotten down even more.
Yeah. So yeah, after that first like that first one, I was just like not that serious about it, but it was like kind of like bucket list thing, wanted to see where I was. And then I got serious really fast. So the 3 days a week, they were all for the people who don't know anything about the program, the Run Less, Run Faster is exactly that. You peak at like 35 miles a week, but every single run is a workout. You have tracked like interval session, a tempo run, and then a long run. But the long run isn't typical LSD. Your runs get progressively faster. So like your very last 20 miler in the cycle is at marathon pace plus 10 seconds. So
oh, wow. Okay.
it's really hard and really fast. Like you're going all out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So after that first one, like that's what I did. And then I also added lifting,
Mm-hmm.
and I was lifting like 3 times a week, and I just got really strong, like everywhere. Like, just, that helps a lot too, when, not just running, but you're working on your strength training. So I was doing that, got down to, I think it was like a 3:13 or something that I ran, and then registered for CIM that year. And I think it was that year or the next year. I can't remember, but, CIM, same thing, stuck to the same program. So basically I would finish a race and then I would start over at the program. And I think it's really effective for someone who likes speed work, but it's also like really mentally challenging because every time you run, you're running all out. It's just really hard. You're going to go in the pain cave. Like you don't get to do those easy fun runs with friends because every workout is. So yeah, it's like, it's really hard to stay dedicated to it because you're not like, you don't get to do like the fun little easy runs or run with people unless they're going to run your same exact paces.
Right. Everything's very strategic. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next marathon I ran was CIM, and I ran 3:05 there.
Wow.
And so after that was when I got that sub-3 bug. And I was like, geez, only 5 minutes. Like, I got to go for that. So that's when I like made a big vision board and like that was all I could think about. And typical mistake. I know we were just kind of talking about, you just finished Ventura and like already doing a lot, or not a long run, but 7 miles,
Right.
You finish it and you need the recovery, but it's like, especially after a good performance, you're just so excited to get back out there. So that was me. And like, I'm not even joking you, the following week, like just a few days later, I was already like on the track doing speed work, like doing an 8-mile run. And this is like, like some people can do that. I think like very few, but like someone that's on low mileage to begin with, and partly because they're injury prone, like it's just not smart. And within within a month, I was dealing with an IT band injury that like took months to go away, and I kind of just burnt out.
No, I've definitely been there, and I mean, just for anyone listening that's in my boat, because I've done 3 runs since Ventura, which is maybe like 2 weeks ago now. And, yesterday I was like, I'm just going to go and do my run with my running buddy. Sure, it's going to be an easy run. But near the end, I realized that, probably running 7 miles, even easy, is not smart. Just, even though you have to feel it out. But I would say like, you can't underestimate. It's good to have some time off after the marathon to do some cross training.
Yeah, like cross training and like you said, just listening to your body, because for some people, like, even a decent amount of miles a following week's probably fine. And like, also when you're running with friends, like it's easy to get carried away where you're not like, you're like, oh, maybe like I'm tired or this hurts, but like you don't really pay attention as much. I don't know, at least that's how I am. Like I get carried away very easily.
The peer pressure.
Yeah.
And running's just so fun.
I know. So after like a marathon high, it's so hard to like, not be chomping at the bit to get back out there. So let me see. Oh yeah. So post CIM, IT band injury. That was like months. Like I had registered for Boston that year, and that was like why I was so excited to get, back out there and train.
Yeah.
And I tried, but like training, I don't think I was able to run more than like 13 miles like one time.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is Boston. I'm going to do it even if I have to walk the whole thing. And there was definitely lots of walking, and it was like really painful. And I think my slowest marathon ever, even slower than a marathon I ran pregnant. Like it was amazing, but like so hard. And yeah.
So we have to make sure people are recovering. We have to learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Learn from my mistake. Like that, like honestly, I think it was like the hard training cycles back to back to back.
Yeah.
And then like the nagging injury, like, you said you had IT band stuff, like that can just take forever to go away.
Yep.
And so after that Boston, like I think I took like nearly 2, maybe even more than that, years off, where I just started like running for fun. Like I ran with a big